This is Ashoka. He once killed 99 of his brothers to become emperor. Then, after one battle, he felt kind of bad about it and basically became a Buddhist hippie. How does someone go from that to this? Well, to figure that out, we have to go back to his grandpa. So, India at the time was a bunch of different kingdoms. The biggest, baddest one was Magadha, ruled by the Nanda dynasty. And the Nanda king was super rich, super powerful, and super hated by everyone, especially this guy, Chanakya. He was a brilliant teacher who got personally insulted by the king, so he swore a very dramatic and very public oath to destroy him. There was probably a lot of fist-shaking involved. To do that, he needed a guy. And he found one, Chandragupta Maurya, a sharp, ambitious kid who was probably just trying to figure out his career path. Chanakya took one look at him and said, "You'll do." So the two of them raised an army, marched on the capital, and kicked the Nanda king right off his throne. And just like that, Chandragupta was the new king, which was a promotion. But wait, there's more. At the same time, the Greeks, left over from Alexander the Great's field trip to India, were just kind of hanging out in the northwest. Chandragupta looked at them and said, "Hey, you, get out." And they did. Then, one of Alexander's top generals, Seleucus Nicator, came back with a huge army, looked at India and said, "Ooh, shiny, I want one." A huge battle was about to go down, but it seems Chandragupta's army was just better. Seleucus was forced to sign a peace treaty where he gave up a ton of land, including parts of modern Afghanistan, and even gave Chandragupta his daughter to marry. In return, Chandragupta gave him 500 war elephants. Dude, that went well. Chandragupta eventually became a monk and starved himself to death. Which is a choice. He was followed by his son, Bindusara, who was called Slayer of Foes, which means he was probably good at slaying his foes. And he had a bunch of kids. One of them was Ashoka. When his father died, Ashoka decided he wanted to be emperor. There was just one tiny problem, his 99 brothers. So, Ashoka removed the competition permanently. This really displeased his father, who was dead. So it was fine. For the next 8 years, Ashoka was a classic conqueror, constantly expanding the empire and being a real mean dude. Eventually, there was only one major kingdom left that wasn't under Mauryan control, Kalinga. Ashoka sent them a message Kalinga resisted. So Ashoka responded with what historians refer to as a tactical overreaction. He unleashed his entire military might on Kalinga. The battle was a complete bloodbath. Over 100,000 people were killed. After the battle, Ashoka looked out over the fields of dead bodies, the burned villages, and the crying families, and he had a sudden moment of clarity. He thought, maybe I'm the baddie? And this one thought broke him. He was so sad, dude. He felt so much regret that he had a complete psychological breakdown, which, for the rest of India, turned out to be a good thing. Ashoka quit war cold turkey. He converted to Buddhism and came up with a new ruling policy called Dhamma. Dhamma was basically a don't be a jerk policy. It said, be nice to your parents, be nice to servants, don't kill people, and for the love of God, be tolerant of other religions. And he was serious about it. He appointed special morality police to roam the empire and make sure people were being nice. He sent his own kids to Sri Lanka to tell them all about his be cool philosophy. And, craziest of all, he started carving his rules onto giant stone pillars and rocks all over the country. They were like ancient tweets, but made of granite, so no one could ratio him. He built hospitals for people and animals, roads, wells. He completely changed his legacy from Ashoka the Terrible to Ashoka the Great. And for that, he gets a promotion. But after Ashoka died, things went downhill. His sons were kind of useless. The empire was too big, the army got lazy, and the whole thing started to fall apart. About 50 years after Ashoka's death, the last Mauryan emperor, a guy named Brihadratha, was inspecting his troops when his own general walked up and stabbed him. right in front of everybody, ouch. And just like that, the Mauryan Empire was gone.